How much an example of your distractions that you've avoided this year?
Well, I would say, you have friends and family at home. I have friends and family at home. You got to worry about tickets more so at home. And then, too, you're in a confined space. Like last night, we had a great Super Bowl party. Everybody was there, had their own teams cheering for their team. Fortunately, my Seahawks won. But it was a togetherness that you don't have a chance to have at home. Everybody kind of goes their own separate ways when you're at home. So that would be my layman's explanation. But I do like our focus, and we preach about how it's us against them on the road.
During a trip like this, 5 games, 10 days, how much does it help to have guys like Chuck, John, veterans that have been around that can kind of keep everyone focused?
It does, but I thought we were a better road team even before the trade, I thought. Now, I may be wrong on that, Josh. I don't know if our numbers support that or not, but it helps having the veterans. But I've had veterans play better at home than on the road, too. So I think it's just this group more so than anything else, the chemistry of this group, the mindset. And I've had years where, it's like I said, just the opposite. So,
Wait, kind of tying in the Seahawks as well. You've gone to their practice and their training camp before with Pete. I know he's talked about it before. What do you take from what you saw with him and a guy who's known for the togetherness as well with him, with his players, let alone the players and players?
He's a guy that's comfortable in his skin, and I'm at that point in my career now too. And in his first couple of tries, he didn't do it the way the ownership wanted to do it, and the organization wanted to do it, and he was trying to please everybody. I think you have to coach to your personality and to the personality of your team. And that's what he conveyed to Terry and when we met with him in training camp. He now is coaching the way he wants to coach, music in practice, bring in who he wants to bring in, let guys be themselves. That's why the Richard Sherman situation, I'm sure, didn't bother him whatsoever. He probably embraced it because Sherman was being himself. So I take away from that. He's comfortable in who he is. He knows that this is probably his last shot, but he's done a great job. But for me trying to be like Pete Carroll, I can't do that. But that's what I take away from what he does that makes him successful.
What do you think when you look up and you see the banner for Jerry?
That I'll never get there. But yeah, he's a good man, hard-nosed coach. I do like, you try to emulate a lot of stuff he preaches, the toughness, the physicality. He put that to work here in Utah for so many years, and that's why he's got those numbers up there. But he's one of my idols that I've always looked up to. Got to know him back when I first got into coaching at Western Kentucky. He and Clem Haskins were best friends when they played for the Bulls. He came down and spoke at our summer camp, and just being around him, you could just feel toughness and strength, and a man with a conviction, and that's when I started following Jerry Sloan back in the early 80s.
He used to be in the press room with the writers before every game.
That's right. He's done that for years. I know it. Every night. So he's a guy, old school guy, and we won't see the likes of Sloan in my lifetime.
What's the support he got from ownership and his general? Like he was allowed to be.
The patience and the support is huge. That's true for any coach. Right. Yeah. Coach Carroll, his first couple of years in Seattle wasn't stellar. But he stuck with it. He put defense first, and I told our players, relentless defense wins in any sport. Whether it's baseball, you go with a big-time reliever versus a DH, I'll take that big-time reliever, hot throwing those aspirin tablets. But defense wins in any sport.